I'm Frank Tennyson. Today we're going to begin a new series of connected lectures with the goal in mind to create affection in our lives, because this is the year of affection. People ask me, well, how do you know it's the year of affection? And I said, well, I declared it. I'm claiming it. I want this to be the year of affection. And last year was the year of compassion, so that was all outer directed to eliminate all the sore spots and all the judgments. And so this year we can just enjoy ourselves, live in the affection zone. And the reason we're picking affection is because it's one of the easier attributes of love, or the attributes of divine love intelligence, to acquire or to create. So this will be the beginning. This is my counting stick made by Corinna. And that will mean the first lecture, that'll mean the second lecture, going on down, third lecture, fourth lecture. So today we're going to talk about your basic emotion, what an emotion is. And what an emotion is the feeling that you get when your thoughts land in your body. The feeling that you get when your thoughts blend with your body. And to understand that, then you have to understand, well, what is a thought? What is your body? Everything always leads to a greater understanding of the variety of factors or concepts that are necessary to understand the definition. So first of all, we'll talk about what is your thoughts. Your thoughts are developed through the creative, divine creative energy of love, the divine creative energy of creation or creativity itself. Creativity is one of the divine attributes of God. Creativity is one of the divine attributes of love. Love and God are synonymous. Love and God and life are synonymous. Love and God and the source are synonymous. So getting back to your thoughts, though, because you were given the divine creative ability that divine creative intelligence has, you can create anything, just like divine love intelligence. Now that's important. It's important to note that there's a process involved. I mean, it's not like you can say, I'm going to create a train and boom, there's a train. But if you know how the process works, you can do that. So the way the process works is, first you use your imagination, which is again one of the divine attributes of God, to think something up that you'd like to do, or like to be, or like to have, or like to see. And once that picture forms in your mind, or that thought pattern forms in your mind of what that is, of what that change factor is, it forms what we call a thought. Now that thought is actually made out of light, because your whole mind is made out of light. And light makes light. And that light, since it's massless and weightless anyway, that thought then swims around in your consciousness. And maybe it's just a singular thought, and if you don't add your will to it yet, it's going to just sit in your consciousness, which is generally called your head space. So now if you add to that thought by thinking it again and again and again and again, as to motivate yourself to do it, or as to reinforce that that's what's happening now, many of 100 million ways of creating more thoughts. But if you add to that particular thought, then it will become a cluster of thoughts that float around your consciousness. Now, I'm going to jump ahead a little bit and say that perhaps you put some negative energy into that thought, or some positive energy into that thought. And we'll get in the process of how that happens in a minute. But for now, let's call those negative energy thoughts, let's call them starlings. So they're whizzing around your mind like clusters of starlings, going woo and wee and woo and woo, waiting to be activated by your intention or your will. And in the same way, your positive thoughts, we'll call them doves, will be flying around, or pigeons, white pigeons, will be flying around in the same kind of swooping and churning and whoosh, whoosh, waiting for them to be activated. So what is activation? Activation is when you put your will or your intention, you say, it's time to get going, let's take these thoughts, that particular, all those doves, and let me send them down to the heart space and water those stem cells with immersion into the physical realm. The physical realm is what really gives those thought stem cells life. So you send it down to your body to get watered with love. And now two things can happen. One, the body can send those thoughts back up and say, oh, I don't think so. That doesn't sound good to me. That's what's called an emotion. Or the body can send those thoughts up. In this case, we sent the doves down, didn't we? So we'll send the doves down, and the body will say, that feels so good. It feels so in sync. That's what's called an emotion. When your thoughts hit your body, the feeling that you get is an emotion. So you can see right away that determining your thoughts and activating them with your intention and sending them down there is going to create the magic of life. Is going to create the watering of stem cells, the activity quotient that you need to incept a thought or series of thoughts. The vortex of creation now is like it's on its own. It's gone into the physical realm where it just manifests and manifests and manifests and manifests. And as that manifestation occurs, every time you get a sending of sweet emotion from your heart space, from your body space, which is sweet energy, which is called emotion. So how can we use this better? Well, you can see right away that as soon as you change your thoughts, you'll change your emotions. Send down different kind of thoughts, you'll have different kind of emotions. So now, when those when those starlings go down, when you have negative thoughts that aren't positive for you, that aren't going to fulfill you or enhance you or guide you or illuminate you, when you send those down, you're not going to feel good. And you can send those down consciously or unconsciously. They are sent not only by your direction, but by the understanding of your core belief. So if your core belief is that you're not doing well or feeling well or worthy, those thoughts begin to build and become starlings swishing around. And when you have a particularly bad moment that proves that you're not worthy, for example, they'll all flush down into your body and cause that negative swell of negative emotion that everyone's so familiar with, which we call suffering. So that's what controlling your mind is, controlling your thoughts. That's why it's so important, because they're going to either advertently land in your body or inadvertently, through unconscious thinking, land in your body. So you want your unconscious thinking to be, oh, I'm really in a fabulous world with fabulous people around me, with fabulous friends. That fabulousness has spread even to where I think I'm worthy too. I think it's all fabulous, and that includes me and you and you and you. So that's your default position. It's so important to have a positive default position, because those doves flow down into your body and create your emotion, create how you feel. So that's it in a nutshell on what emotions are. In our next lesson, we'll talk about building compassion. Compassion was last year's emotion of the year. And then we'll move into understanding how to build affection, which is this is the year of affection. So I wish you affection. Take care of each other. Take care of yourself. Stay in the pleasant tense. And we'll see you next time.